Good afternoon, welcome back. I've been having a lot of fun playing around with these medieval, what they call a girdle book. The idea of a girdle book is that it has a leather extension that hooks under your belt, and it was used by nuns and monks to carry around books of prayer or whatever. And it could also be used by other professionals to do, take around things that they needed, like a ledger or legal items, medicinal items, that kind of thing that they needed to know. I used the directions from Karen to do this. There wasn't too much online. There weren't really any YouTubes or anything like that, so I just went with her written instructions, and she also gave a link to a knot tying site in the book, and these are the downloaded pages, so that you could create what's called the Turk's head knot, which is what you are seeing there. So just to kind of quickly go through it, this is a book block that I decided not to use because I didn't like the way the pages, when I trimmed the book, how they ended up. So this is just a sample, but it's sewn on double cords with some patch sewing. It has what's called primary end bands, and the end band is tied down into each section because it is structural. There is a hooked on end sheet. Let's see here if I can get to the end. You can see where it's hooked around and sewn into the first section. They're usually kind of small, chunky books because you are carrying them on your waist. There's usually some sort of spine lining. I used the arrow cotton that had been sized with some paste, but you can also use pieces of vellum. She gives several different options in her book. The construction of the book is that you, after you've laced on the boards, and there's a lot of shaping to the boards. I hope that you can see here that the boards are shaped into the book block. They are, there's cutouts for the hardware and for the, on the inside for the leather strap. It's laying in a little groove so that that's flat. We had on hand some cherry, but typically it would have been oak. You first, with the leather, you first cover what is the tail end of the book here with one strip of leather, and then the leather that comes down to make the tail starts at the head and is wrapped on turn-ins on the foredges and the head and into the space behind the headband here. And you have to cut that piece so that it tucks in behind the headband and covers where these cords are lacing in here. You can kind of see the cord going in there. Used some brass that we had on hand to create these little hook. I think you can see how that hooks into there. And then you finish off with what's called a Turkish knot, Turk's head knot. And she gives some directions, like I said, on that. To do the Turk's head knot, I actually use this old spindle, but you could use like a handle of something, maybe even a piece of PVC to make your knot, and then slip the knot off and put it onto the leather and tighten it up. These are invaluable because when you're threading this leather back and under and around, it's great to be able to have this little kind of hooked in on it and some teeth to grab so that you can go under, grab your lace and pull it through. Because this gets, as you lace it on, it gets incredibly tight. and difficult to maneuver. I also did some, you can see here, 2 different kinds of blind tooling just to have some decoration. Occasionally you see these books with furniture on them in the way of bosses or other kinds of things, but in a lot of cases they are just blind tooled, and not a lot of gold or anything like that, because they were utilitarian. They were getting bounced around on the hip, and I don't think that was always the best thing for a finely tooled book. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it to my son and daughter-in-law who go to a lot of Renaissance festivals and also do Dungeon and Dragon, and this is kind of part of their costuming. So have a great day. If you like playing around with it, I highly recommend getting hold of Karen's book. Bye.